Hello, my friends, and welcome to a brand new episode of Discourse in Magic. My name is Jonah Babbins, and this is me wishing you a happy new year. And in this episode, we're going to talk about a bunch of things that you need to consider if you are a professional magician or wanting to be a professional magician when January hits, both the bad parts and the good parts, and how to make 2025 the best year for your magic business and your magic of all time. So first, let's start with the January slump. January is so funny for us magicians because December, if you're busy or even kind of busy, you probably have more gigs than you've ever had before last month, which means you had more inquiries than you ever had before last month and more emails than you ever had before last month. And then January 1st hit and all of a sudden, crickets. And I noticed not only in my own business, but also in the mastermind that I run for magicians to hit 100, 200, 300K in their magic business. We track revenue, and I can see that January is by far the slowest month of the year across the board. Across the board, on average, it's one of the slowest months of the year. So it's not just you, and it's not just me, but this is the way that it is. And it creates this weird mindset shift. And I noticed because as well on a couple of Facebook groups, some newer magicians are commenting like, wait, how do I go and get gigs? And people are starting to feel it. You have no inquiries. You've got no gigs happening. It's the slowest season. You basically shift from doing lots of stuff to doing very little stuff all in one go. But that is actually good news. It is a gift from the magic business gods down to us that there are different seasons for us in the year. Imagine if all year long felt like December. It would be very hard for you to find the time to work on your business and work on your promo and work on the way you operate and things like that. But we have a natural pause, and on average-ish, basically if you're performing for corporate events or company parties, the year like ramps up slowly to December and then starts back up again, and ramps up slowly to December and starts back up again. So if you are here in January, it means that you've got a little bit more time to work on things that either A, would take longer, or B, things that would like upset the process of your business if you tried to do it in the middle of the busy season, which isn't just December. The inquiries come in November and October and September. So this is the time where you're maybe not getting a lot of inquiries and you can make some major changes to, give me some examples. Number one, your website. I always encourage my clients to work on their website during this time of year. Why? Well, because if the forms break or if it has to go offline or go down for a day or it doesn't look perfect for 24 or 48 hours or whatever, that's fine. It's probably not getting too much traffic anyways, and it can withstand a day or two of being offline, which it cannot do in November and December. So if you've been looking at your website and saying, hey, I wish this was better, I wish that looked better, I wish this design was better, I wish it had better images, I wish there was a form instead of just a button, no problem. Now is the time to do it. Number two, a promo video. It is very likely, if you've been following a lot of my advice, that you got some videos and photos and footage from the events that you did this holiday season. If you did some events, and this is a great time to put a new promo video together. You've got time to find an editor. You've got all the footage to go through. You can take your time to not only give the footage to an editor, not only record yourself speaking, as a backing track of the video, but you can actually go through these long video recordings from your gigs and take note of what moments you really want to include in the video. Maybe you have a trick with fire in it, or maybe there's a huge reaction that you got, or maybe there's a beautiful stage or a beautiful moment. This is the time to be able to do some of that nitty-gritty work in a video that you wouldn't have that time to do during potentially other times of the year. And the last one is a CRM. A CRM stands for a customer or client relationship manager. And if you're starting to book a lot of gigs, I find this generally happens somewhere between the 50 and 100K a year mark. You've got a lot of clients to manage. You've got all the people that have booked you, all the people that are thinking of booking you, and all the people that almost booked you or didn't book you. And those are all people that you want to keep relationships with over time. And It's hard to do that out of an inbox or out of a spreadsheet, and it's a huge mistake to set up a CRM in the middle of the busiest season of all time, because you've got to keep track of all the inquiries and all the emails and all the things going on, and it takes a lot of work to actually move your data from one place to another. And by the way, this also includes those of you that are on certain CRMs and you want to be on others. I know there's a lot of magicians on Mago, which is the name of a CRM, which unfortunately, it is an amazing CRM in terms of it is built out for magicians specifically. So there's a lot of things that is specifically for magicians, but it uses some older software and it's slow and it's hard to connect to other things like forms and automations and things like that. I know a lot of magicians in the mastermind have moved from Mago to other CRMs like 17 Hats or Pipedrive. And if this is all going over your head, no problem. You're probably not there yet. But all of this is just to mention that in this season, this is the time to focus on the slower, longer tasks that you need to do. Maybe you have to sort out some videos or some clients or some data or things like that. This is the time to sort out some of those longer tasks that need to happen in your business. But there's one thing that needs to happen in your business in either December or January. One thing that you must do, and that is planning out your entire year. I used to just wake up and look at my computer and say, what could I do today? And that kind of works, but also it kind of doesn't, because things fall through the crack, you forget things, and especially bigger projects that you can't really do in one day, you end up not doing them at all. And a lot of the times, the thing that's separating us from the next level of success is a couple of bigger projects that we need to do in our business, like doing SEO, like posting a blog post and a new web page once a week for 3 months or something, or setting up your Facebook ads, or setting up your LinkedIn ads or your Google ads. There's a lot of things that you probably can't do in just one day, and you want to put those projects into your calendar so you know when you're doing them, and you can do that fully aware that the next 3 months you've got a lot of time, but October, November, December is not the time for you to be doing those bigger projects as well. During this season is a great time to look back at the data from last season and figure out what you want to do more of and what you want to do less of. Like, for example, maybe you did a lot of kids shows, but you don't really want to. Or maybe you did a lot of adult house parties and you'd rather be doing kids shows. Whatever it is, it's good to figure out what you want to do more of and less of not just how you do your gigs, but also how you spend your time and what you do on the back end, like on this side of things. And also, this is a great time to plan out the magic that you want to be doing. Maybe you want your show to be funnier. Maybe you want to ditch a couple of tricks and add a couple of new ones. This is a really good time to make a plan for your year, because a lot of these projects and tricks and setup and tech and approaches, they do not happen overnight. And January is the season for you to be doing it. A lot of people, it's December, but for me, December is just way too busy. And January is like the Monday of the new year. You know, January is the Monday of the year. It's a time for you to make sure you've got everything in order and know exactly what it is that you need to do. If I spend more of my time planning, then I know that the things that I actually implement are the things that I really need to do. So, with all that being said, I am running a session next week on January 15th called the Preloaded Year. This is a session that I do with the mastermind every single year. I do with myself every single year. And the whole point of the session is that we are going to plan your whole we're going to do it in 75 minutes. We're going to plan out all the things that you know you need to do, all of the, not only marketing, but also all of the business and all of the fun and all of the special occasions that you need. And we're going to plan all of that in a 75-minute session. You're going to end up with all of it on one piece of paper. So all you have to do is follow the plan. This is like one of my big secrets to how I grow the business, is by making a plan with people that know what they're talking about and following the plan. So I'm running a free workshop just for Discourse in Magic folks, people that are on the podcast, on the Instagram, on the email list. And this is me telling you about it so you don't miss it. If you go to the description of this episode, there is a link. Click that link, put in your email, and join us at the Preloaded Year session. If you're like, I can't make January 15th, people that sign up we'll get the recording for a short period of time. So please sign up, whether you can make it or whether you want to watch it afterwards. I would love to help you plan your year and meet a couple of you and see your beautiful faces. There you go. I hope that you learned something from this episode about January, the slump that happens at the beginning, but more importantly, the projects and the planning that you get to take on during this season. And I hope I can help you crush 2025 at the Preloaded Year session. Check out the link in the description to sign up for that. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next Thursday. Ciao.